Good morning, sunshine. This little pincushion pet is so freaking cute. Let me tell you why I designed a pincushion pet. Each of the patterns that I designed for this challenge needed to be fun, they needed to be beautiful, they needed to be functional, or they needed to be one or all of those things. The pincushion pet is not beautiful, but he's really super cute. Let me show him to you. He's also very functional because as an amigurumi designer, I need pins. If you sew, if you quilt, straight pins are definitely one of the notions that is a must-have. So I figured we could keep them all in a place that's super cute, something fun, something neat. So let's dig in and make this little fella. Now you're going to need a number 4 worsted weight. It doesn't matter what kind of, or brand rather, as long as it's a worsted weight yarn, 3.5 millimeter hook, and 2 colors. I used alternating colors, as you can see, but the colors that you choose, the brand that you use is completely and totally up to you. You're also going to need 2 8 millimeter safety eyes for the eyes, a 4 millimeter safety eye, one for the nose, and a darning needle, some scissors. We got this. Let's knock it out. This is going to be fun. Okay, so for the feet, we're going to do a magic ring. And we're going to put 6 single crochet into this magic ring. Oh, okay. And then we're going to do 3 rounds of just 6 single crochet. So we need to get my little stitch marker. I always mark the very first stitch of the round. Six. Okay. So we're just going to keep going. We've got 2 more rows. You can either keep doing this. I'm just going to keep going around. 6 times 2 is 12. So I'm just going to do 12 more stitches and then we'll finish this off. It keeps trying to roll the wrong way, but it's fine. Oh, okay. We've got it as long as we want it. We're going to go ahead and cinch this down. Pull that ring tight. I like to use a pencil because it makes it easier to stuff my tail back to the inside. I don't know what it is about the pencil lead, but it just works better. For me anyway. Okay. So now I'm going to weave these both ends together. Oh. Okay. All right. So we're just going to cut a little tail. Get your darning needle. And we are going to stitch both sides together. I just like to weave back and forth. And then this, I think, because it pops out like that, kind of looks like a big toe. So I'm just going to leave that and continue. Come on now. There we go. I'm going to hide that tail because we don't need it anymore. I'm going to snip that. And that is the first foot. And so we're going to do 4 of these. Go ahead and finish the other 3. Rewind the video if you need to, and then we can start on the ears. Okay, so we've got all 4 of our feet. Now we're going to go ahead and make the ears. We're going to make 2 of these, and they go really quickly. So we're going to start with 4 single crochets in a magic ring. Okay, so for the next row, it's really simple. The pattern repeat is increase with a single crochet in the next. So we're going to put 2 single crochets in this very first stitch. That is going to be our increase. I'm going to go ahead and mark this because with not very many, I get lost sometimes. It's fine. We're fine. And then a single in the next. An increase in the next. And then a single in this final one. And again, it does, because there's not very many stitches, it does kind of turn in on itself. So don't be afraid to kind of manipulate it and get it to where it needs to be. And we're going to put a single crochet right here. That finishes off round 2. So for round 3, it's basically the same thing. But instead of 1 single crochet between the increases, it's 2. So we're going to put an increase right here. We're going to do 2 single crochet. There's 1, 2. Then we're going to put another increase in the next. And finish it off with 2 single crochets. Okay, so this ear is basically done. We just want to, in this very first stitch, slip stitch, chain 1, and then we're going to leave a tail long enough to sew it onto the head of our pet. Pull that closed. All right, so there we go. And we just need 2 of these, right like that. Those are our cute little ears. All right, let's move on to the body. Okay, so we are going to start on the body. The body includes the nose from the rooter to the tutor. So we're going to start with 6 single crochets in a magic ring. We're starting with the nose. So I've got my little nose right here. It is a 4mm safety eye. Don't worry about what it's supposed to be. This is about what it's intended to be. So we're just going to go ahead and put 6 single crochets right here in this magic ring. 2, 3. Don't pull it all the way tight. Like, don't cinch it down, because in a minute we're going to use this to put the nose into. Not right now because we still need to work, but make sure you leave that some loose. It doesn't have to be super loose, but it needs to be loose enough to where you can get the nose in there. So round 2 is just kind of like we did with the ears. We're going to put 2 single crochets in this very first stitch. I always mark the first stitch of every row so that I know where I started, because it does get a little bit confusing at times. And then we're going to do 2 single crochets, just like we did with the ears, the last row of the ears. So 1, 2, and then 2 single crochets in the next. That's an increase. And we're going to finish up this row with 2 single crochets. Okay, there we go. So now you can put that nose in and tighten it up. Now we don't want to put the back on it just yet because we still need to work through. So just put it in and tighten it up so it doesn't go anywhere. And then we're going to move on to round 3, which is 8 single crochets. So we're not increasing in this round. We are just simply going to put a single crochet in every stitch all the way around. Oh, sorry. Six, wait, 7 and 8. Okay. So now that we've done that, we're going to go ahead and we can flip this over and put the back on it. Now, because this is a pin cushion, children are not supposed to be playing with this. Please keep this in mind. Instead of putting the flat side of the back down, we're going to put the tip down. So it's going to look a little bit weird, but it's going to help. See, I don't know if you can see that. We're going to put this on upside down. That's going to help shape the nose a little bit without, you know, making it look funky too much anyway. And then we can put that all the way back. All right. There we go. Now for this next round, we're just going to do another simple 8 single crochets all the way around. Okay, so after round 4, this is how your little nose should look. Okay, let me see if I could shine some light on it. Give me just 1 second. Okay, well that's not going to work. Anyway, so that's how the nose is going to look right now. So for the next row, row 5, we're going to do an increase, 4 single crochets, and then 3 increases all together. So increase, mark the first stitch, 4 single crochet, and then we're going to do 3 increases right next to each other. So 2 single crochets in every stitch for the rest of the round. There's 1 increase, 2 increase, and 3 increase. Ooh. Okay. Round 6 is pretty simple. It is increase, single crochet all the way around. So just that pattern. Increase, single crochet, increase, single crochet. single crochet. Go ahead and finish up this round and I will meet you right here. Just remember we increase, single crochet, and alternate in each stitch. I'll meet you at the end. Okay, so I am at the end of row 6 and this is what it should look like at this point. You've got your little nose and then you can see we're starting to build out the head right here. So for row 7, round 7 is a little bit different. So we've got a lot going on here. If you're following along with the pattern, I think that's awesome. We're going to do an increase single crochet. We're going to do that 3 times. And so there's increase 1, single crochet. I talk to myself, increase 2, single crochet. So I do this every time. I always talk out loud. Let me know if you talk out loud too. Okay, so then we've got the 3 increases, increase, single crochet 3 times, and then we're going to put in 6 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then we're going to do that all over again. We're going to do another increase single crochet 3 times. Increase 1, single, increase 2, single, increase 3, oh, and then a single. Okay, so by the end of this row, you should have 24 stitches all the way around. This is the end of row 7. Row 8 is just 24 single crochets all the way around. Just 1 single crochet in every single stitch. Go ahead and work 24 single crochets, 1 in every single stitch around, and I will meet you right back here. Okay, so this is the end of row 8, and you might notice that it's going to start turning in like this. That's fine. Just make sure you pull it back out. It needs to get some act right, we know. Row 9 is very similar to row 7. We're going to do 2 single crochets and then an increase. We're going to do that repetition 3 times. So 1, 2, increase 1, 1, oh, 2, increase 2. We're going to do that repetition 1 more time. Increase 3. Okay, so now that we've got that, we're going to do 5 single crochets. Five, and then we're going to do increase 2 single crochet. We're going to do that 3 times. Oh. 1, 2. This is increase 2, increase 2, 2 single crochet. Get more yarn. Increase 3, 1, 2, and then we're going to put 1 last single crochet. So that is the end of row 9. Row 10, we're just doing single crochets all the way around. So you should have 30 single crochets at this point. That's what it looks like from the side. I wonder if I have, well, we'll do that in a minute. Okay, so just do 30 single crochets all the way around. Go ahead and work all the way around your face, and I will meet you right back here. Okay, I apologize about the white, but I wanted to show you. So this is the end of round 10, and this is what it looks like on the side of that. So we're going to be placing the eyes pretty soon. We're going to do 2 more rows. I'm going to move this because, yes, please. The glare is not fun. All right, so for row 11, we're just going to kick right in. It's pretty simple. We're going to do an increase and then 4 single crochets. We're going to do that 6 times. We're all the way around. So increase, 4 single crochet. Increase, 4 single crochet. Oh, come on. Okay, so just keep doing that. Increase, 4 single crochet, increase, 4 single crochet. We're going to do that all the way around. Pretty simple, pretty even. I will meet you right back here for to begin row 12. Here we are at the end of row 11. Row 12 is pretty simple. We should have 36 single crochets at this point. That's what it looks like from the side. So we're just going to do 1 whole row of 36 single crochets for row 12. After we're done with this row, we're going to go ahead and get the eyes put in. Eyes are a good thing. They stare at you and make you want to finish. So go ahead and do your single crochets all the way around. You should have 36, and I will meet you right back here. Okay, so we are now at the end of row 12, and this is what it's starting to look like from the side, from the front, until you can see how it's moving up, and this is kind of going flat. The eyes are going to go right here. So if you turn it to the side, you'll see where the nose kind of tilts up a little bit. This is the part where we need to put the eyes. So well, let me bring them over here. We're going to put the eyes between rows 6 and 7, and we got to make sure there's about 6 stitches in between. So if we count back, this is 12, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, right here. 7, 6, so right here. Oh my goodness. And with 6 stitches between, so that's 1, oh my gosh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right here. Now when we do amigurumi, it's never perfectly straight. Your eyes are never going to sit completely straight. They're always going to be kind of scallywampus, and that's okay. So we're going to go ahead and once we've got the eyes situated, I like how that looks. I think that's kind of cute. We're going to go ahead and put the backs of the eyes on and get that all situated. Okay. So there we go. Now, before we go any further, I want to do the little eye details right here. And I'm going to do that with some white yarn. You don't need a whole lot. I mean, I have way more than what I need, which is right here. So this is a great for scraps. All right, so I'm going to come in just underneath the eye right here. We're going to want to use the ends to tie so you don't have to do too much. And then you're going to come right up to the very top and go in like that. Now I like to push, or I guess I could say not push, but I want this to go a little bit underneath the eye. So I'm going to pull it kind of tight so that it will go underneath that eye like that. That way it doesn't move. And then I'm going to go right back over here and do the exact same thing. Now it doesn't matter whether you start with the top or the bottom. It doesn't matter. I'm going to start at the top. Now when you pull it through, keep in mind that we need to stuff this. So do not pull this all the way tight, okay? Leave some wiggle room because we're going to actually be tying that off. Oh, Marty. There we go. And then we're going to come right back to the bottom and do the same thing that we did on the other side. Oh, geez. Okay. That's great. Yeah, don't mind me. It's fine. We're fine. It's all fine. You know, this is a trick that I learned from Frizzy Bee as far as doing the facial details first. I was always taught to do it after, but I really like how she does it first, so I just kind of adopted it. So thank you if you're watching this, or if somebody can let her know. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so that just gives him a little bit of extra detail. Now we're going to tie these things up. So this middle, not that one, this one, we're going to cut that and then just tie these so that they don't disappear. We don't want it to get super loose. So we're going to tie like that. All right, now I am probably going to use this yarn for something else. I like scraps, so, but if you don't really have a lot of yarn and you don't want to deal with it, that's fine. You do not have to clip your ends because they're going to be hidden inside anyway. So don't worry about it if you don't want to. All right, there we go. Okay. So now that we've got his eyes in, now here is where you can add more details. If you want to put a smile on him, I'm not going to. I like him just like this. I don't think he needs much of anything else. So we're just going to keep him like this and move on to row 13. Now, for row 13 all the way through to row 17, so 5 more rounds, we're just doing 36 single crochets all the way around. Okay? Let's do it. Go ahead for row 13. Do your single crochets all the way around. I'm going to meet you at the end of every round so that we can kind of keep in check with one another and make sure we keep on with the things. We're actually working for 5 rows, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. So go ahead, do 13, and I'll meet you right back at the end. Okay, I finished row 13, and let's go ahead and start row 14, which is exactly the same, single crochet all the way around. Go ahead and finish row 14, and I will meet you right here. Okay, this is the end of row 14. And we're just going to move on and do the same thing with row 15. Go ahead and finish row 15, and I will meet you right back here. Okay, here we are at the end of row 15. We've got 2 more of these rows to go, so let's go ahead and do row 16. Okay, let's do row 16. row 16, and I'll meet you right back here. Okay, here I am at the end of row 16. We have 1 more of these rows to go. This is the last of these single crochet rows, row 17. So go ahead and go all the way around. I'll meet you right back here, but he's shaping up pretty cute. See you in a minute. Okay, so here we are at the end of row 17, and right now we're going to stop working on the body and sew the ears on so that we don't have to worry about that after it's already stuffed. So go ahead and grab your little ears, and we're going to pin them between rows 9 and 10. I like to use straight pins. Just set that right there. All right. So there's our little ears. Oh, and Marty. All right, we've got 17, row 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. Oh, no, I don't like that. Ow. Okay. So I'm just going to take my little darning needle. Now to sew on these ears, you can sew them on after. If you feel more comfortable sewing them after, we can totally do that as well. Don't get caught up in what should happen. Do what feels right for you. I like these ears to be close to the eyes, but not too far, because we want enough of the back and the sides for all of the pins. All right, so you're just going to go up and over. Oh, I don't know if you can see that. Up and under one post, and then secure it down like that. So that's how we're going to do with the sewing. We're just going to go through the, come on Marty, where is it? There it is. Through one stitch, around one post. Through one stitch, around one post. Now with this one, rather than just get this, I'm going to go all the way through to the front, because I want to pull this middle to the back like this, and then we can come back through this, grab the middle right here, and then go up under and up through here. So basically what I'm doing right now is just tacking the ear, because I want to be able to, where is it? There we go. Secure it to the head. And now I can go through and just the good thing about sewing it on before you get stuffed is that you can see where you need to go. And be able to get it in there pretty good. So as of right now, I can see I still have one stitch over here that needs to be secured. So I'm going to grab it, put my needle up through right up in here. Oh, sorry about that, y'all. Snatch this little, there we go, perfect. All right, so as you can see, it is tied down tight. Instead of securing this just yet, I'm going to get this other ear on first and go from there. Okay. All right, I'm going to go ahead and sew on this other ear, and then I will be right back to show you how to secure the insides. Okay, so I've got his little ears all signed on. Are they uneven? Absolutely. Do I like it that way? Absolutely. So don't get caught up in where they should be or how they should look. Let it flow. It's okay. Now we're going to turn this inside out just a little bit. And these two tails we are going to okay, there we go. Again, I'm going to go ahead and clip these. I just want to make sure that it's stable. Flip the bad boy right back over. He's freaking cute. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and do row 18, which is a little bit different. So row 18 is an invisible decrease and then 4 single crochets. And we're going to go all the way around on that. So to do an invisible decrease, you're going to go up under one loop, go to the next stitch, up under one loop, grab it and pull it through both, and that's your decrease. Always mark the first row. And then we're going to do 4 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do another invisible decrease. One loop, pull it through, done. 4 single crochets. Another invisible decrease. Ready? One loop, one loop, pull it through, done. And we're going to do that all the way around. By the end of this round, we'll have 30 single crochet or 30 stitches around. Go ahead, invisible decrease in the next, 4 single crochets, do that all the way, and I will meet you right here. Okay, so here we are at the end of row 18, and now we're going to do 5 more rows of single crochet. So you should have 30 single crochets right now. We're going to start row 19 and just do single crochets all the way around. All the way around, and I will meet you right back here. Okay, here I am at the end of row 19, and you can see it's starting to go down right here a little bit, but we're going to want to make it a little bit longer. So we're going to go ahead and do another row. This is row 20. And again, we're just going to single crochet all the way around. I'm going to, just like before, check in with you at the end of each round so that we can all, you know, stay on track. So go ahead and pause if you need to, and I will meet you right back here at the end of row 20. Okay, so here is the end of row 20. We're going to go ahead and move on to row 21, doing the exact same thing, which is 30 single crochets all the way around. Ooh. Go ahead and finish row, and I will meet you right back here. Okay, this is the end of row 21. We've got 2 more rows to go. So row 22 and 23 are exactly the same. 30 single crochets all the way around. Oh, all the way around. And go ahead and finish row 22, and I will meet you right back here for row 23. Okay, that is the end of row 22, and right now we're going to go ahead and move on to row 23. This is the last of the single crochet rows. After this point, we're going to start closing up the body and getting him all worked out. We are almost done, y'all. So go ahead and do your 30 single crochets all the way around, and I will meet you at the end of row 23. Okay, so we are at the end of row 23, and so now we're going to start closing him down and making him a little bit smaller. So we're going to do invisible decrease, 3 single crochets, and we're going to do that 6 times all the way around. So if you remember, we've got the invisible decrease is underneath, underneath, bring it over, and done. We're going to mark that first stitch. Then we're going to do 3 single crochets. 1, 2, 3. Invisible decrease. 1, 2, 3. All right, go ahead and continue invisible decrease, 3 single crochet all the way around, and I will meet you right here for row 25. Okay, so this is the end of row 25. 24. You can actually, we're going to start stuffing right now. We're going to have to stuff a little bit more. We've got 2, 3 more rows left. So we're going to stuff now. Let me see if I can move this up a little bit. Okay, so we're going to stuff it firmly. So we want it to be as firm as possible without stretching the stitches, because we want our we want the pins to be able to sit in it nicely. They need something to grab a hold of. So we want to stuff it firmly, but we need to be careful not to overstuff it. And I am bad at overstuffing, so don't judge me. But we don't want the stitches to fall apart, because that is kind of counterproductive. It's amazing how much stuffing you can get in this little fella. if you're, I mean, I've noticed that in projects like this, there are people who like to overstuff. That would be me. And then there are people who like super soft, squishy. They don't use very much stuffing. It needs to be in between. So if you like not much stuffing, put more than what you normally would inside your project. We need to shape it. It needs to be firm, but it also, yeah, you don't want to overdo it. So I'm going to leave that for now. I'm going to leave it as is and move on to the next row, which is row 25, and that is invisible decrease 2 single crochets all the way around. Now, after I stuff, I like to hold the stuffing down as I do the stitches. So let me see if I can get a little bit close. Oh, no. Okay. In. And okay, so there's one. I'm going to go ahead and mark my thing. And then we're going to do 2 single crochets. Ooh. Invisible decrease. 2 single crochet. I like to hold the stuffing down because when it's up like this, oh goodness, that is just really close. Let me see if I can do something different. Okay, so when it's up like this, when you put your hook in for the single crochets, it can grab some of the stuffing and pull it out, and we don't want all that. So I just kind of do it a little bit different. I'll hold it down while I do the stitches. Invisible decrease, 2 single crochet. All right, go ahead and finish your invisible decrease, 2 single crochet, and I will meet you at the end of this row, and then we can start on the next. See you then. Okay, so I've come to the end of row 25. Row 26 is very similar. It is invisible decrease and then 1 single crochet between. Oh, invisible decrease, single crochet. There we go. At the end of this row, you should have 12 stitches and single crochet. Okay. So before, we've only got one more row left, which is 6 invisible decreases all the way around. I want to finish stuffing this. Okay, so you'll see the top is very firm. The back is kind of squishy. So I just want to take a little bit more and kind of fill it in where it needs to be. I'm going to do this by smaller pieces because I don't really need an entire lot. Looky there. Guess I needed more than I thought I did. Really, we just want to make sure that the booty of the thing is just as full as the front. There we go. I think that'll be okay. All right. Perfect. So there's our little fella from the side. He's stinking cute. All right. So for the next row, we are just doing decreases all the way around. Again, I do like the invisible decrease. So we're going to do 6 of those individual, or good grief, 6 of the invisible decreases. All right, so I do need to sew this in, so I'm going to leave a little bit longer of a tail. I'm going to pull that through like that, so that's just one loop. grab my darning needle. Okay. So to sew this closed, we're going to start with this loop right here. So the first invisible decrease, we're just going through the very front loops is all. Let me see if I can. Okay, just the front loops, and then we're going to pull it through. You don't have to pull it tight just now, and we're going to grab the front loop of every single stitch around. And 6. Now the sixth one, it always stands up taller than the others. So once you've got all those, put your finger right here and pull it tight. That's going to cinch it all down like that. And then you're just going to put this under here and come up through. We're just going to weave in the tail. Okay? And you can do that just, I like to go through and weave it in a few times. I like it on the bottom because that way, if it is seen, it's not actually seen. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay. All right, there we go. So once you've got your tail woven in, you can go ahead and clip. Make sure that tail is hidden, and that is the body of your little pal, your pincushion pet. Okay, so as you can see, this kind of sticks up a little bit. It kind of looks like a little nubby tail. It's fine. I didn't do a tail on him because I don't think it's necessary, but let's go ahead and sew on the feet. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is pin on these feet. So I like for the bigger ones to go into the back. So we're going to put that in the back. We're going to put that in the back. These are kind of the same, so we'll put these in the front. So if you turn it over, you can go ahead and pin the feet. I like the feet to be pointed out a little bit because I just think that's cute. And we just pin these on here. We just need to make sure. Oh, come on, Marty. There we go. Be careful with these straight pins so you don't poke yourself, okay? I don't like how that looks. Okay, so the biggest thing is to make sure that he's sturdy. Go ahead and pin the rows. This is row 27 right here. 26, 25, 24, 23, 22. Now I've had to move this one up a little bit, but I think it adds character just so that it's sturdy. And then you put this. Now you want your feet to be out a little bit. You don't want them to be flush underneath the body. You want them to be able to stick out like this. So once you get them pinned, you can go ahead and just sew all the way around here. Now, again, you don't want to sew it up like this because it won't stay stable. Okay, you want it to stand as flat as possible like that. All right, so let's do that. Now, because there's no tails to sew from, I'm just going to take a length of my color A and use that to sew all of the feet on. All right. Well, I guess we can start here. All right, leave that. We want to make sure that we have something for it to grip to. Pull your needle out right above one of your feet and this is where we will start. Now, when you're sewing on any limbs, for any projects like this, whether it's amigurumi or different little animals, dolls, whatever, when you're sewing, you always go through around one post of the main body piece and then one stitch from or post from the actual limb. So for instance, this one, I'm just going to use this one little stitch so that we can solidify that and get that down. And then I'm going to go right back into where I came out, move over one stitch like this, and pull it through. That secured that. Now I'm going to grab one more stitch right here. Go right back into where I came out. Oh, go over one, come on, go over one more stitch. There we go. Okay, so this is what we're going to do all the way around. We're just going to grab a, come on, Marty, grab a stitch. There we go. Go back down. We're going to go over one and grab another stitch. Okay, so this is all the farther I want to go on this particular one right here. So I'm going to go back in where I came out, and I'm going to go all the way over to the other side right here so that I can start working on the inside of that foot. We can take this pin out. It feels kind of like surgery. No lie. Okay, there we go. I guess it is. We're kind of sewing them together. Back in where I came out. Ooh. Moving over one. Grabbing a stitch here. Ooh. Okay, so this one is sewed on. Instead of coming out again, I'm going to go right back in here, and I'm going to move over to this side right here. Where I want it to come out. And I just happen to line up perfectly, so I'm going to grab this stitch as I'm coming out of the body. So that secures that one. This one, as I came up, I was actually able to grab that stitch right there. So all I'm going to do is go right back in. I'm going to go right across to the other side and secure this side down as well. Oh no, 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 no. We'll do this instead. There we go. Okay, back in where I left off, moving over one. Oh, okay, it is secure. Grab this stitch here. Back in, move over one. Grab a stitch. Back in, move over one, and we're just going to do this all the way around. When you're done with this foot, then you can move And just like we hopped from this foot to this foot, you're going to move from this foot to either this foot or this foot. I will probably just go like this. Remembering to catch one stitch on the foot and one post on the body. Oh, come on, Marty. There we go. Perfect. Okay, I'm going to move on to this baby right here. Again, I'm going to try to snag one of those stitches, save myself some work. Okay, ooh, my goodness, I didn't mean to do that. I'm sorry, y'all. Take that out. We're going to go in where we came out, move over one, and do the same thing all over. So I'm going to go ahead and finish sewing on his feet, and I will meet you when I am all done. Okay, so I have finished with all of the sewing. You see they're on there pretty stable. I've got this right here, and right now I'm just going to finish hiding my ends. That's my main goal right now. So it's in there, it's not going anywhere. And now we can just clip this off. And there's your little fella. Oh, he's so stinking cute. He sits really nice. And then you put your pins right here. Matter of fact, let's just go ahead and add some straight pins. Put them in wherever they might go. I like him better than the pincushion that I currently have, so I will be using my little pal for now. All right. There you go.